Hey, Mike.
Hi, Heather. Hi, audience.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Doing good.
You're looking good, Heather.
Oh, thank you. And so are you. And it's good to see Pickle. Woo.
Yes, Pickle wanted to join the show today. Say hello.
Hi, Pickle. Hey. I can't wait for the day when he starts talking back.
This kind of parrot is not especially known for talking.
No.
No,
Hmm.
no. Have you ever had a parrot as a pet?
I had a cockatoo,
Okay.
and we had her for my parents had her for 15 years. So I had her
Mm-hmm.
from like when I was born until I think I was 12 years old when she died.
Mm-hmm.
And she would be on our shoulder, and she would nibble on my ear, and she would crap on my shirt. And yeah, she was a good bird.
Were you her favorite?
Oh, goodness, no.
Who was Who was his or her favorite?
She was my mom's bird.
Okay. Well, somebody was just telling me yesterday that parrots, if they don't if they don't live with other birds, they tend to mate with one particular person in the family, like
Oh,
bond in particularly closely with one person.
that's
So
good to know.
anyway, in the wizard household, that's definitely me. If I can toot my own horn, I
Oh,
think I have a way with animals.
yeah. Yeah, I think you do too. And he is just interested in that camera.
Yes, well, he can see himself on the screen, but I think he's kind of confused.
Hmm.
But he also likes shiny objects, which the camera lens is.
So basically, Pickle is the perfect Las Vegas bird.
Yes, he just pooped on me. Let me get a tissue.
See, that's what I remember about birds. Well, while you're doing that, let's go through some of these comments and see if we can. Okay, so CSL in the casino. The Wiz is back for Q&As. Yeah, buddy. Love that one.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. And we have, not only are we doing questions, we got a trivia today, right?
Yes, we're going to do Hanukkah trivia. And in
Ooh.
fact, let's just jump right in and ask some.
Okay.
We'll try to start with the easy ones.
Okay.
And these were also in my newsletter. So if you read my newsletter, audience, I'm going to ask you to abstain. So here we go. Question number 1. How many candle holders are on a menorah?
Okay, so if you guys know the answer, put it in the comments, and we will get to that in a second.
Okay. And meanwhile, can you ask us a question from the peanut gallery, Heather?
I will do that. So our very first one comes from Ari, and it looks like it's a 3-parter. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
You too?
Let's say a casino offers roulette, single zero, and the even bets, red and black, and the even bets will be without an house edge, which means a 0 will result and show up when the player will not lose. Okay, so he's talking about the La Patage principle. The single numbers will still be handled with the regular house edge of 2.7%. Should the casino change and lower the minimum and maximum for the even bets? Okay, so I think what Ari's asking is on the roulette, single zero roulette games where La Patage is available and an even money bet hits, the casino will only take half the bet, not the full bet, which lowers the house edge. So Ari's question is, should the casino change and lower the minimum and maximum for the even amount of bets if they have this available?
Okay, that's not how I interpret his question. He says in part 1 that the bets would be without a house edge. So I assume that if the ball lands in 0, even money bets are a push. If a casino ever did that, it would be a promotional thing, and they would probably say something like, you can only bet this if you're making other bets with a house edge. But no matter what, they would restrict this in some way, which would, otherwise people would come in there and only bet the even money bets, and the casino wouldn't make any money.
So when the casino has a promotion like that, will they change and lower the minimum, maximum? Will they mess with those numbers?
I'm sure they would. In fact, let me say that one of the casinos in New Mexico, I think it was the Santa Ana Star, has a no house edge bet in craps. It's on buying the 4 and the 10. There's no commission at all. And from what I hear, the players are not really abusing it. I think they're still betting other stuff. And I haven't been there in a long time, so I don't know exactly how they're handling it. But this idea is not without precedence. But I think that, I've never seen this, but I'm sure the casino would take measures to protect themselves and make the players either bet on other stuff, or it would be at a really small bet amount, like $5. And by the way, one question I sometimes get is some people incorrectly think that if the casino had games with no house edge, they would still win. And the argument being that the casino has a bigger bankroll and the players would eventually run out of money. And when that happens, that's it. They can't play anymore. But it's not true. The odds would still be the same, and some players would get really lucky and walk out of there with a lot of money. But in the long term, the casino would just break even, as well as the players. So anyway, enough of that one. And do we have an answer to the Hanukkah question?
Is it 9?
Yes, it is.
Ooh.
Who gets credit?
Handstands are fun.
Handstands are fun. Good job. You get a point. Okay, and here's another menorah-related question. What is the candle in the middle called?
Wow,
and what is it for?
So if you guys know the answer, put it in the chat, and we will get to it right after our next question, which is an easy one. Stefan says, are there any good one-deck blackjack games around?
There's only 2 single-deck 3-2 games left in Vegas. One is at the El Cortez, and the other is at the Four Queens. And these games are not necessarily the best games in Vegas. I believe they restrict doubling to 10 and 11 only, and they hit us off 17. So, but at least they pay 3-2, unlike everybody else. But I don't think the odds are better than the liberal shoe games that stand on a soft 17.
Okay.
And of course, on my website, on Wizard of Vegas, we keep a blackjack survey of the blackjack rules in every casino in Las Vegas. And you can sort that in house edge order to see where the best games are.
Fantastic. So go check that out, you guys, if you can.
Okay. Do we have an answer to the name of the middle candle and what it is for?
Would that be Shamos?
Yes, the Shamash. And who gets credit?
Mo the cat.
Mo the cat again. So did Mo say anything about the reason for the Shamash?
He says so that you don't get pleasure from the main candles.
I'll take that. It's basically for lighting the other candles. So the other candles there's 8 of them, and those represent the 8 days that the temple oil lasted. And the middle one is basically a candle lighter.
Okay. Cool.
And okay, another question on the menorah. How long is a menorah candle supposed to burn? Or shall I say, what is the minimum time it should burn?
So if you guys know, put it in the chat.
And this is a tough one. I've asked some knowledgeable Jewish people, and they did not know this one.
Oh, okay. You have some good trivia questions, though. I like the questions you asked for your trivia.
Thank you so much.
Ready to go on to our next question?
Yes.
Okay, now this one is not from the Peanut Gallery. This is from your forum, and it's from Gillimer. I heard that the Circa Resort will not allow anyone under the age of 21 on the property at all, adults only. When you visited, did you see any signs or mentions of this?
I did not know that at the time. I don't recall seeing any kids. So I would applaud that if they do that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I cannot confirm or deny that at this time, I'm afraid.
Okay. Okay, so let's see if anyone has an answer to the question.
Oh, speaking of Gilmer, Father Michael gave him a penance, and the penance was to write out by hand, not typing, the 10 commandments of gambling and 2 Hail Marys and 1 act of contrition. And he did it. He scanned it and he sent it to me. So thank you so much, Gilmer. And Father Michael told me to say you are absolved of whatever sin you committed.
That is so funny. I love that.
And go forth and sin no more.
So can you remind us what the trivia question was? And then we will see if anyone answered it.
Oh, so it was how long, what's the minimum time a menorah candle should burn?
Okay, so Mo the Cat says 12 hours or 24 hours.
Nope.
Nope. That was the only guess that we had for that question.
Okay, let's ask another gambling question and give the audience a little more time.
Okay, sounds good. So again, if you guys know the answer, put it in the chat and we will get to it here. 1 second. So CSL has 2 questions. Have you seen the TV? You okay?
Yeah.
Oh. Have you seen the TV?
Pickle nipped at me.
That scared me. That made me
Sorry.
jump. Have you seen the TV game show Card Sharks? And if so, have you calculated a basic strategy? And what is that basic strategy?
That's a good question. I think I'm going to save that for an Ask the Wizard question.
Oh, okay.
But off the top of my head, I don't know. But I've seen a couple of Card Shark based casino games, and I analyzed them on Wizard of Odds. So yeah, I will look into this and try to answer it the next show.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that answer. Do you want another question, or you want to see?
Okay, I think the audience is out of time on the time a menorah candle should be lit for. Do we have any more guesses?
Miami Boy says 2 days, and that's the only other guess that we had.
No, the answer is 30 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And you're also, I believe, not supposed to blow them out. I think you have to let them naturally burn out. So the candle should be of sufficient length to go at least 30 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, so let's ask another Hanukkah question, again on the topic of menorahs. Where should the menorah be placed in the house?
Wow, you even have to put that in a certain place?
Yes, and I've asked this one to don't bite my ear, to other people who are, shall we say, knowledgeable, and they didn't know, but when I told them the answer, they said, oh yeah, you're right, I forgot about it. Okay, so where should the menorah be located?
If you guys know the answer, put it in the chat, and we will answer it after this question. And this one is from Anne. Hey, hi, Anne.
Hi, Anne.
So right now, if you could have anything at all, what is the one gift you would ask Santa for this year? That's a good one. I like that question.
That's a good one, too. I take it you can't have things like immortality, something, you could buy. I wouldn't mind a boat. I'd like and keeping it at Lake Powell, and I could kind of see myself getting into the whole boating thing.
Any boat in particular?
I would like something. It doesn't need to be really fast and fancy. It should be comfortable and have both indoor and outdoor space. But I'm a pretty simple person. I don't need a Monte Carlo style mega yacht. Just something that it would be good for like 4 people, and just basic transportation on the lake.
Very cool. I like that question, Anne. That was good.
Yep.
So we have 2
How about you, Heather?
We have 2 answers to the trivia question. Is it in the window?
Yes.
Woo!
Who got that?
Mo the Cat.
Mo the Cat. You're the first person I've asked this to get it right. So good job.
Nice. Fantastic. Okay, what's
Heather, do you have an answer to Anne's question? What would you ask Santa for?
okay? So I could have anything as long as it's a material object.
Yeah, and it's, possible. It exists.
I want a
And don't be
house.
too selfish.
I want a house with a really big yard.
Okay,
That's what I want.
that's nice.
Yeah. Okay, so our next question. Do you want to do the trivia question?
Okay. Oh yes, we need another trivia question. Okay. What two foods might one eat at Hanukkah? In other words, shall we say what two foods are probably the most associated with Hanukkah, and what do they have in common, and how do they tie into Hanukkah?
Okay, so if you guys know, put it in the chat. My question is mooncakes. I'm going to say mooncakes is the answer. No?
Mooncakes are a Chinese thing.
Oh,
you might eat those for Chinese New Year.
Have you ever had one?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. What'd you think?
Yes, we have them every year in the Wizard House to celebrate Chinese New Year.
That's so
and also the 100-year eggs or 1,000-year eggs, whatever those are called, and other things to ring in the new Chinese New Year.
You actually cooked it then?
There's a very special way to, I guess, boil a 1,000-year egg, and by the time it's all said and done, they're black, but they are supposed to give you a long life.
I hope it doesn't smell like 1,000-year-old egg.
No, they really taste like a kind of like a spicy boiled egg. No big deal.
So, what was our trivia question for Hanukkah? Did I miss it?
So the question was, what two foods are most associated with Hanukkah and why?
So next question then, while we're waiting for the answer, is from Paul. I love the video you did a couple months ago on Crazy Time. Do you think this would work well as a live casino stadium type game?
Crazy Time. Are you sure you have the name right there? Because I know there was Good Guys, Bad Guys, Bowling, Screw Your Neighbor, Indian Poker, Guts, Crazy Time. Well, let me I hate to do this, but let me check my site real quick. Sometimes I do something and then just forget about it.
I do that too. It's like, I'm pretty sure I wrote something, or I'm pretty sure I did a video of it. And while we are waiting, let's see if we have any other.
I don't see any game here called Crazy Time.
No.
Oh, no, wait a minute. I take that back. Okay, I did. Crazy Time is basically a big six Wheel of Fortune kind of game by Evolution Gaming. And you can bet on basically bonus rounds. And if the wheel lands in one of these bonus rounds and you bet on it, then it plays, I think there's 4 different bonus rounds, and then you play it. And my video analyzes these bonus rounds and it shows you examples. So yeah, for some reason I was thinking about all the poker videos I did with Angela, but yeah, thank you for the compliment. I think that's a really fun game. I'm not claiming it offers very good odds, but I think it's a really well done game, and I'm glad you liked the video.
Fantastic. Okay, so let us see what we have for answers for your trivia question. Donuts?
I will accept that.
Really?
Yes, one of them is a jelly donut.
And okay.
Yeah, and it's called a it's called I might be mispronouncing this, but sufganiyat.
Oh wow. Okay.
But yeah, basically a jelly donut,
Okay.
And do we have an answer for the other one?
Anne says
Got it.
latkes.
Yes, latke.
Yay.
So yes, so we have a jelly donut, and we have basically like hash browns, like a fried, a fried potato. So what do those two things have in common, and how might they tie into Hanukkah?
Both are kosher.
That's not what I'm looking for.
Oh, darn. I thought those were pretty grand.
There's something in particular about Hanukkah that makes...
Wayne says both of them aren't healthy at all.
That's true, but not the answer I'm looking for.
Mo the cat says...
Yes, Mo the cat
yeah.
is correct again. They are both fried in oil, much like the temple oil at the center of the Hanukkah story. Okay, next question.
Okay.
Here's an easy one. What game might kids play to celebrate Hanukkah?
So if you guys know the answer, put it in the chat. And while we're waiting, next question is from the forum. And this is from Odious Gambit. Bloomberg has a recent article about Ole Peters and the Plus EV coin game. I think you would not recommend playing this game, but am I wrong? Is it an exception to your mantra? It's not whether you win or lose, it's whether or not you had a good bet.
Okay, so somebody posted about this in my forum either today or late yesterday. And the question says, suppose there's a game that you have a 50-50 chance of winning and it pays 6-5. So it's obviously a good bet. But the question is, should you take this bet if you must bet half of your wealth on it? And you can take it over and over again if you wish. But if you take it, you must always bet half of whatever your wealth is at that time. And in terms of expected value, it's a good bet. But because you're forced to bet half of your wealth, you shouldn't. And what you can expect to happen is that the more you bet this, the more your wealth will diminish. And yes, there is a chance that if you really get lucky, your wealth will just skyrocket through the roof. But if you just have average luck, your wealth is going to go down. Or even slightly good luck, it's still going to go down. So this is like a good example, is to not just consider expected value, but to also consider variance. And it's a good point in that you should not overbet your bankroll. And I did the math on this, and suppose that someone did have this bet and they didn't have this restriction about betting half your wealth, then you should bet 1/12 of your wealth. And that is the amount that will grow your bankroll as fast as possible.
Okay.
So, and if you're still interested in my topic, somebody just brought it up in the forum at Wizard of Vegas, and I'd be happy to answer further comments about it there.
And that's wizardofvegas.com?
Yep.
Fantastic. We do have 2 people who responded to the trivia question.
Mm-hmm.
First one, obvious, from VA Lurker, dreidel.
Absolutely, the dreidel.
And the next one is from Ari, Sevion.
Pickle just pooped again.
Okay. Did I say the word so badly that I made her?
I think maybe you mispronounced it, because Pickle pooped just at the moment you said that.
I know I mispronounced it.
Pickle almost hit the greatest calculator in the world, the HP 15C. He missed it by like 2 millimeters.
He was trying to aim for it.
No, Pickle has respect for this greatest of all calculators. So, what was I talking about?
Is the answer right?
The dreidel. Heather, can you sing the dreidel song? I'll start you out.
No, wait, that's the only part I know.
Okay, then sing the beginning.
Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. I made you out of clay. And that's the most I know.
I think it starts with, I have a little dreidel. I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel, I will play.
Nice.
Sorry, audience. I like to sing, but I'm terrible at it. Okay, let's ask the next Hanukkah question.
Okay.
So let's say that kids are playing dreidel. What might they be playing for?
So if you guys know, put the,
Yes, what might be the prize for the winner?
put the answer in the chat, and we
Yep.
will answer that here in
Yep.
1 second.
And meanwhile, ask me another question from the peanut gallery.
Yes, sir. Next question. This one is from Michael. What is the better play, 7-spot Keno or double bonus video poker?
You know, without even looking it up, I'm quite sure the double bonus is better. I should ask about the pay table for both, but even a bad video poker pay table is going to have a 99.9% chance of being better than whatever the Keno is in the same casino.
Oh, okay. That was a fast.
As I've said many times, video poker is one of the best bets in the casino if played properly, and slots and Keno are among the worst. And it doesn't really. And I could almost say, I just said this on Gambling with the Edge the other day, that with very few exceptions, the worst video poker is going to be better than the best slot machine in any given casino.
Really
okay.
Nice.
Do we have an answer to what kids might play dreidel for?
So is it chocolate coins?
Yes, but for full credit, what are they called?
Oh, goodness. I just have chocolate coins for answers. I don't see anything else.
By the way, Virginia Lurker, I want to say, I said this last week, but one of my fans sent me a Wonder Woman Christmas ornament. And if by any chance that's you, thank you very much. I gave my thanks the last show, but it's worth thanking twice. And Wonder Woman is hanging on my Christmas tree right now. So that was a great gift. So I believe the package said it was from Anonymous in Virginia. So I just wanted to make sure that he or she gets properly thanked.
Cool. Are you going to post a picture of it on social media?
I showed it last week. I mean, at the last live stream. So, and I don't want to have to go all the way to the Christmas tree.
No, don't worry about it. So what is our next trivia question?
Okay, so what was I looking for? Yes, the name of the chocolate coins. Do we have anything on that?
People are just saying chocolate coins. I don't see a name.
Okay, they are called Gelt or Hanukkah Gelt.
Okay.
And by the way, that when I was a kid, my mother, even though we're not Jewish, she always made the chocolate-covered coins a Christmas thing.
Cool.
Okay, next question. Which president was the first to have a Hanukkah celebration in the White House?
So if you guys know the answer, put it in the chat. And we will do this question while we wait. And this question is from Paul. What percentage of players leave a table with less money than they bought in for? What games tend to have the highest frequency of losers?
To be honest, I don't know. Heller, as a dealer, maybe you could have a better opinion than me. My guess is that probably only about, I don't know, maybe 20% of players leave a sitting ahead. But I'm just pulling that out of thin air. I have no source to quote.
Well, going from memory and anecdotal experience, which we know is not scientific at all, basically, with most games, like Shackelford was saying, most games people leave with no money at all. That's just part of it.
Mhm.
If you're talking about the games that happen the most with, that's definitely roulette and carnival games that happens the most with. Usually
Mhm.
with the core games, you have the solid players who really study it and practice it
Mhm.
and know their stuff. Whereas with the carnival games, people are just going there to have fun and they always lose their money. So that is my answer to that question.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Let's ask another Hanukkah question.
Wait. Don't you want to see if anyone answered?
What was the last one I asked?
Well, our first answer, I don't remember what you asked, but our first answer was Obama.
Oh, yeah, the president. No, Obama is not the right answer.
Is Jimmy Carter?
Yes, Jimmy Carter, Jeff G. Good job. Yes, he was the first person to have a public menorah lighting in the White House.
Very cool.
Okay, the next question gets a little bit harder. So in the, shall we say, the Orthodox Bible, which two books mention the story of Hanukkah? So it's not mentioned in the conventional Protestant Bible, but it is mentioned in the Orthodox version. So, yes, which two books mention Hanukkah?
Okay, put it in the chat.
Okay.
And until then, our next question comes from Wayne. What do you think is the best designed casino card game there is and why?
That's a tough one. I really like Ultimate Texas Hold'em. I really enjoy playing it. For me, I like it because it has a strategy that's challenging but not too terribly difficult, and has very low house edge if played properly. Yet it's also liked by the casinos because it makes a lot of money for them because players play it so badly. But I think it has just the right amount of an excitement factor. I think players do not immediately see where the house edge comes in, which is the blind bet, by the way. Now, I will admit that when Ultimate Texas Hold'em Poker first came out, I thought the rules were a bit complicated and players might not, it might be too hard for players to understand. But no, the game is done well. I think it's really well designed. And so I'm going to go with that.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so we do have an answer to your trivia question. Is it Maccabees 1 and 2?
Maccabees.
Maccabees.
Yes, first and second Maccabees. Mo the Cat. Very good. Another point for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go on to the next one.
And while you're doing that, I really like Mo the Cat's other response or other question too. Does Pickles eat pickles?
You know, to be honest, I've never tried. I tend to think he wouldn't like them. Pickle really likes sunflower seeds and nuts in general.
And cameras.
Yes, and shiny things. You know, my other okay, here's one. How shall I phrase this? So the story of Hanukkah, basically the story is that the Jewish temple was occupied by somebody else. I'll just tell you, it was the Seleucid Empire, if I'm pronouncing that right. And the Jewish people, and shall we say a certain branch or family of the Israelites recaptured it. They had a battle and they recaptured it. And when they recaptured it, there was only enough sanctified oil for one day. And it would take 8 days to press new oil. So the story is that this 1 day supply of oil lasted for 8 days until they could get more oil. So the question is, what was the name of basically the family that recaptured the temple?
That's a good question. I like that. Okay, you guys,
Let's have another gambling question while we're waiting.
Okay, next one is from James. Good to see you. Do I have to file taxes for the slot machine jackpot for $2,000 or $3,000 the same year? Is there a penalty to file them late for the next year or tax season?
Yeah, you're supposed to file it for the year that you won the jackpot, and it does not count if you file it in a different year. So if you forgot to declare a jackpot, the only thing you could do if you want to set the record straight is to file an amended return. If you want to be good and pay your proper taxes, that's what you should do.
Another thing too is with taxes, can't you, if you win a big jackpot that you have to report, can't you offset it with all of your gambling losses?
This gets complicated. I could do a whole show about it, but for most people, you are not in a position to offset. So to offset gambling losses, you have to file that in your Schedule A. So if you don't itemize, you can't offset. And recently there was an increase in the standard deduction, and you only get one deduction or the other, the standard deduction or the itemized deduction. And for most people, including me, take the standard deduction. So I can't declare offsetting losses. And that's why I don't play video poker anymore, because if I get a jackpot, I'm going to be giving like 30% of it to the government, and that makes it a bad bet for me.
Okay, good answer. Okay, so let's see what you guys are saying for the trivia. Gary says you both missed Pickles biting the camera lens.
Well, I saw it.
Would it be the Maccabees again?
Yes, again, the same answer, the Maccabees.
Maccabees. See, I'm going to mispronounce it no matter what.
Another point from Mo the Cat.
Yes, good job, Mo the Cat.
Yep. Well, I think that's all the Hanukkah questions I have for you guys. So,
cool. So just questions.
Yeah. So let's focus on gambling questions the rest of the show.
Sounds good. So our next question comes from Paul. Baccarat, explain the appeal. Seems so boring.
Yeah, I agree with you. It seems like the bet on a flip of a coin to me. I think that Baccarat players would say that they enjoy looking at the whole pattern of the shoe, and they will study that board really carefully. And under the incorrect notion that that they can discern patterns in it that will foretell the future. Total waste of time, doesn't help. But what Baccarat player will believe me? But given that I don't want to say even believe, given that I know that the past doesn't matter, it does become a coin flip game. And that's why I find it really boring, and I never play it.
So basically it's the equivalent of going to a fortune teller.
Yeah, you could say that. At least a fortune teller, though, has some information to work off of. At least you can see them face to face, and they can probably get certain tells from you. Mm-hmm. And I think that, when they do it a lot, they can kind of sense what somebody wants to hear, and that's probably what they say. Don't know a whole lot about it.
You never been to one?
I've gone to, sometimes when I'm traveling just for fun, I'll go to a fortune teller, and most of the time they just say really vague stuff. Now, one time in Australia, I went to one, and this woman said really specific things that I was just amazed, and she got it all right. Wow. And the chances of getting all this right would be like 1 in 1,000. And that really, I remember that very clearly to this day. I'm still not saying I believe in fortune telling, but that was amazing.
Cool. Our next question's super easy. What's the bird's name?
Pickle.
Pickle. Where did Pickle go?
He's right here.
Oh, there he is.
Okay, next question.
Miami Boy says, have you played Good Guys, Bad Guys as a drinking game?
No. When I played it at Angela's, that's the first I'd ever seen that game. So Steve taught it to us, Angela's husband.
Mhm.
That would make for a good drinking game, but I'm too old for drinking games.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree that would be a fun one.
Cool. Mo the Cat, are casinos still honoring comps from March 2020? That's a really good question.
A casino, it kind of depends on what form the comp was in. If you get a mailer, it's probably going to have an expiration date. Now, okay, here's maybe what you mean. Like, let's say that a player had some kind of offer in writing and it expired during the shutdown. Then I don't really know, but I would imagine casinos would probably be nice and still honor the offer, but I don't think they would legally have to. But yeah, basically, I don't know.
Okay. Okay, next question is from Paul. I know you don't like side bets, but are there any Wizard approved table game bets that allow you to bet a little and win a lot?
Table games. I'm afraid I really can't think of any. Now when somebody asks me, I want to make a small bet with a good chance to win a lot. And for that, I would recommend going to the sports book and making a parlay bet off the board on a bunch of underdogs. That will give you about the best chance you're going to get at turning a small amount of money into a large amount.
Okay. What is the most rare fish to catch on a boat, the boat that you want to buy? And what's the probability of catching it?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm afraid that fishing is one of my weak areas. So yeah, the short answer is I don't know. I like fishing, but I don't know a great deal about what are the most common fishes and the probability of catching them and things like that. But I'm sure it would be some kind of an endangered fish, but I can't name any off the top of my head.
So would we see you water skiing or waterboarding on that boat?
Oh, of course. Yeah, I like water skiing. Haven't done it in years.
2 skis or 1 ski?
Let's see. When I did it, I think when I did it, it was just 1 ski.
Yeah.
And I also went wakeboarding a few years ago. So in case you don't know, wakeboarding is kind of like water skiing, but you don't hold on to anything. And you might ask, well, then how do you keep up with the boat? And the answer is that you're surfing in the boat's wake.
There's not like a rope or anything?
No rope at all. You start out with a rope until you get up enough speed and the wave gets big enough that you can let go of the rope and basically surf indefinitely.
Wow.
I only did it once, wasn't terribly good at it, but that looks like something fun that I would like to do again.
Very cool. Well, next time you do it, we got to get a picture or video of you doing it.
I'll try.
Next question is, what game show besides Jeopardy would you most want to be a contestant on?
Well, in terms of money, I'd love to be on either Who Wants to Be a Millionaire or Deal or No Deal. I once calculated the value of getting on Deal or No Deal. You can do that by simply averaging all the prizes, but it's around like $120,000 if I remember correctly. So that would be a great show to get on. But in terms of like the fun factor and just how much I like the show, I'd love to just be on The Price is Right. I can't say that I watch it all the time, but I could talk about Price is Right math and strategy all day long. And I've just always had a fondness for that game. And I would love to just go and be in the studio audience one day, at least.
Cool. That'd be fun.
So that's my answer.
Awesome. Next question. Actually, it's not a question, but it is a funny statement. Wouldn't it be ironic if Popeye's chicken was fried in olive oil? The the restaurant Popeye's chicken. Popeyes. I like.
Oh, that reminds me of another Hanukkah question
Oh, yeah.
that I have to ask is what is the oil? What was the original Hanukkah oil made from? And the answer is olive oil.
Oh, okay. Cool. Our next question is from Football. What is the house edge when playing a $30 promo free bet on odds for the come bet? And does the house edge change if you add the free bet to a 10 times max odds bet?
I'm not really sure I understand the question. Certainly the house edge is, the house edge is 0 on the odds bet, even without the promo. Basically, I don't understand exactly what the question is asking. And I kind of prefer more general questions than really specific ones like this, to be honest with you. But yeah, if you want to try to rephrase the question, and I will give it a shot.
Sounds good. And unfortunately, we got a lot of specific questions for you.
Okay, well, do your best. Try to ask me something that the whole audience you think will appreciate, not just yourself.
Okay. If you were a magician, what would your magic trick be?
I like that. Magic is a kind of a small hobby of mine. I have a whole box full of magic tricks. I'm a little rusty at it right now. But the magic that I like is mind reading magic.
Okay.
I would love to spend more time with that, but I find that really amazes the audience a lot, and it's a good way to connect with the audience, asking them questions. So yeah, if I had the time, I would learn to do that better. And second choice would be just basically sleight of hand card tricks. That's number 2 with me. That's a magician's magician is really good at the difficult sleight of hand stuff. And what do I kind of not appreciate? It's kind of like the big grand illusion that like David Copperfield might do. And these things are very expensive to set up, and they take a lot of planning, and they might require actors and things like that. So I give total respect for the showmanship of all that, but there's usually just a very simple gimmick behind these tricks of how it's done. But I'm more impressed by things that require a lot of manual dexterity and require a lot of skill to actually perform, as opposed to just a really big budget.
Awesome. Cool. I like it when you start talking like magicians and everything.
I think that I think I would have made a good magician. When I was younger, I developed, I spent more time with juggling, but juggling and magic kind of have a little bit of overlap. There's a lot of people that can do both. And I wish I had more time to devote to magic. I really have a lot of respect for the craft and a lot of respect for magicians in general.
Would that be something you might get into one day, like seriously?
To be honest, at my age, it's with a busy schedule and a family and everything, there's only so much free time that you have that I really don't see. I'm more interested in other things like right now, like kayaking and rappelling, and I continue to unicycle and rollerblade and pickleball. So those are kind of my hobbies right now. But in order to add a new one, I have to drop an old one. So
I hope you don't play pickleball with Pickle.
No, I play close to your apartment.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but I'll probably, I go through phases, and I'll probably get back into a magic phase sometime. Cool. And I might make more videos on how I do magic tricks.
Oh, that would be fun. Our next question is from Clint. Do you have a favorite skill game and where can you play it?
Skill game. What do you think he means?
Skill-based game?
Yeah. What do you understand what he's asking, Heather?
Oh, I just figured he was asking your favorite skill-based game and where can you play it? Like, I don't like out of all the skill-based games that I play that you could play in Las Vegas, I think my favorite one was the Batman one, where it's sort of like a race car driving bonus, and you have to do a race car driving against all the other players that are playing, and it's a big unit. There's like spot for 10, 15 players total, and if any one of those players gets a bonus, everyone has to do the racing, and I think that would be my favorite one. And that one was at Bally's. I don't know if it's still at Bally's, but it was at Bally's.
Okay, so a skill-based slot machine.
Yeah.
I haven't played very many of them, so I don't have an opinion on that topic, to be honest with you.
Okay.
All right. Watch.
Are gambling wins determined by session so that way you could reduce a jackpot by losses that day?
No.
Okay.
Gambling, what the government cares about is how much did you make gambling altogether for the year. And but on the income tax form, they don't ask it that way. Ouch. There is a line for gambling winnings. And let me correct myself. There is a line for gambling winnings, and that's where you're supposed to put at least how much you have from your 1099 forms. Your W-2G forms. And let's say that you have 10,000 in W-2Gs and 9,000 in offsetting losses. You have to enter the 10,000 for gambling winnings. And then if you itemize, you can put down the $9,000 in offsetting losses. And how are the offsetting losses determined? That's your losses for the whole year. Now, if you really want to follow the letter of the law, again, I could devote a whole show to this, but if you are a table game player and you have a net win for the overall year, then I think that it would not break any rules if you just put your net win in the gambling winnings field. But in terms of, no one's going to expect you to record the win or loss for every single bet. But if you declare as an item as a professional gambler, and that allows you to not have to itemize to declare offsetting losses, then you're supposed to track things on a session basis. So if you're a table game player, you're supposed to keep a log of your win or loss for every sitting, as well as for slots. You should record the win or loss for any sitting, playing whatever machine you're playing, and also record any W-2Gs that you got that session.
Okay.
So there is my answer to that.
Very cool.
And by the way, I don't guarantee that I'm 100% right with all these tax questions. I'm just going by my understanding, which might be wrong.
Well, it sounds pretty right to me. I admit that I don't know very much about taxes, but I did take like 1 or 2 college classes, and what you're saying sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay, that's the best I can do with that.
Okay, so next question is from Technics. How much do casino table game employees get paid on average, and how much do they make in tips?
Well, Heather, I think you can speak to that better than me.
Yeah, thank you. So if you guys go to my website, vegas-aces.com, in the article section, you'll see in the table of contents, it says tokes. You'll find the World Toke Board there. You can find the tokes of all of the casinos around the world, and you'll find the base pay as well as how much they make in tokes. Dealers typically make a base pay, usually minimum wage, depending on the area that they live in, and then they make a tip amount for the casino that they work at, and every casino is different. So it could range anywhere from $20 in an 8-hour period all the way up to $500, $700 in an 8-hour period doing exactly the same job. You're just at different casinos. And it also depends on holidays and everything.
How much would you say a full-time dealer at the Mirage makes between both their wage and tips per year?
So for Mirage, it would probably be like $8, roughly around $8 an hour for the base pay. And then on the weekdays, Mirage would probably make about $150 in tokes on the weekdays, and anywhere from $200 to, let's say, $300 on the weekends.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Heather.
You're welcome. Okay, so next up, VA Lurker. I am interested to know about Miss Wizard. Would she be willing to make an appearance and let us know her experiences of being married to you? That would be interesting.
I don't think she would be interested, to be honest with you.
No.
She would probably like to tell you a lot of the things she finds annoying about me. But she's kind of shy.
Okay. So our next one is from Dane. Is there an advantage between buy bets and place bets, or are both the same?
No, the house edge is on my website, but on the place bets on 6 and 8 have a 1.52% house advantage. I know it's kind of high on the 5 and the 9, I think 4%. And then on the buy bets on the 4 and the 10, it depends if you must prepay the commission or it's only paid on wins. So, and if you must prepay the commission, then the buy bets are not very good. I think about a 4.52% house advantage. But if you only have to pay them on a win, then it does become a pretty good bet at about a 1.5% house edge. So, but again, and I'm just going off the top of my head. I spell out all the math in my craps page at Wizard of Odds, and it's also right here in my book.
And where can people find your book if they want to buy it?
You can buy it on Amazon, but it's sold directly from Huntington Press. And this is just like just a quick guide to the odds and strategies for about 20 different casino games.
Awesome.
So, great Christmas gift.
Go check it out.
Yes.
Let's see. Miami Boy says, would you bid on $1 showcase showdown if you knew the other person went over, or would you try to win both?
I would probably play it safe and just bid the $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I wouldn't want to risk going over. I think that I would, shall we say, if you'll forgive the pun, I think I would go for the bird in the hand. Ouch.
Awesome. And Wayne says, remember to smash that thumbs up, you guys. So yes, please like, subscribe, comment.
Yes. Thumb me if you like me, or better yet, subscribe to the channel. And also check out Heather's, Heather has her own live stream.
Thank you.
You want to give a little plug for that, Heather?
Yeah, so we do live streams on my channel every Monday and Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we cover such things as, for example, we're going to do a video in the future about buy bets and place bets, for example. So we pretty much talk about the same stuff and everything. A lot more stuff on dealing than playing, though. So.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Oh, of course.
Okay. So our next question.
Okay. I see we're running low on time.
Okay. So let me see.
No new questions. Let's just finish off anything that's left hanging.
Let's see. In that case, yeah, anything there's just new questions. So anything you want to add, or should we do one more question before we leave?
Okay. Yeah, why don't we just take, well, I'm looking at the questions right now.
How about this one?
Somebody asked about the Monty Hall problem. I could talk for like 5 minutes about that. So please ask that one the next show. Okay, somebody asks, David asks, when you go shopping, do they think you're a vagrant and try to throw you out of the store? Which I'm sure is a reference to my scraggly looking appearance here. You know, so far I've not been kicked out of any stores or any place like that. Because of the pandemic, I think, you know, I just don't go out as much, but I haven't noticed any difference in how people treat me. You know, I get a lot of people saying that, Wiz, you're looking like the Unabomber. But I've never really dressed to impress people to begin with. So, and I don't ask for a lot of attention. You know, I just go into a store, I buy what I want, and I get out. So, yeah. Yeah, that's the best I can do with that. Let's see.
I know someone said there was a comment earlier that was talking about that, and I was looking for it. If I find it, I'll post it up. Do you see any other ones?
Someone asks about having a casino in the cage stamp a win-loss record. I've never heard of that. And somebody asks you a question. Heather, how many times do you get asked out when you go to the store?
I have to wear a wedding ring. I have a wedding ring that I wear, and when I go out, I put it on.
So that's to beat off the guys.
Oh my God, I'm turning red.
Okay. Last question. Somebody asked about the Millennium Prize. So that's a really interesting thing. It's a list of, I guess, unsolved problems in math, and there's $1 million prize if you solve one of them. And I've looked at this, and everything is way over my level, but I probably should follow it a little bit more. But yeah, no, yeah, like I said, it's beyond my level, the questions that they ask. So with that, let's let that be the last question. So Heather, thank you so much for being my producer and co-host, and thank you, audience, for showing up. And shall we do this again in a couple of weeks?
Looking forward to it. Now, in a couple of weeks, we have New Year's Eve. So do you want to do it on the 7th, January 7th?
Let me get my calendar.
Okay. And while you're doing that, James,
my technology, I still use paper calendars.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah, the next 2 weeks does fall on December 31st. I'm certainly not going out and doing anything, so that's okay with me if it's okay with you, Heather.
I was going to take the day off, actually.
Okay. Why don't we schedule for January 7th?
Sounds good. Let's do January 7th. Awesome.
Okay.
On New Year's, I'm going to be painting and drawing. I've been drawing my people. I've been practicing that. So.
Okay. I wish I could draw at your level. So this will then be the last show of 2020.
Yeah. So basically, we're going to see everyone next year.
Yes, I will see you guys in 2021. Hope it's a better year for you. And again, thanks for watching.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Bye, everybody.